What would you do if you saw a pastor picking up a woman from the streets early in the morning? Most people would assume the worst, but in this story, what looked like a scandal turned into something nobody expected. And by the end of that same day, a young woman's entire life changed. This is the story of Linda, and trust me, you won't see the ending coming. Linda was only 24 years old. She was the kind of woman people noticed immediately when she walked into a room. Beautiful, curvy, confident. But behind that beauty was a life filled with secrets and struggles. To her mother in the village, she worked in a good office job, but the truth was very different. Linda survived by working in the nightlife scene. Clubs, hotels, private apartments. She met men who were willing to pay for her company. It wasn't the life she dreamed of, but to Linda, it was survival. And one particular night would change everything. It started like any other night. Music shaking the walls of a popular Lagos nightclub, lights flashing across the dance floor, money moving everywhere. Linda arrived dressed beautifully. She knew how the game worked. Smile, talk, negotiate. Then eventually, a wealthy-looking man approached her. Expensive watch, confident attitude. They talked for a few minutes. Then came the negotiation. 70,000 naira for the entire night. The man agreed, and together they left the club. Everything seemed normal until morning came. When Linda asked for her money, the man laughed, then refused to pay. At first, she thought he was joking, but he wasn't. The argument started immediately. Voices got louder. Linda tried to fight for her money, but the man was stronger. He pushed her toward the door and forced her out of the house. No money, no apology, nothing. Linda stood outside the building shaking with anger. Then she started walking. Linda walked down the street that morning furious. She was talking to herself loudly, complaining, cursing the man who had cheated her. 70,000 naira, gone. After everything she had endured that night, she kicked a small stone on the road as she walked. That was when a car slowly approached her behind her. It was a clean, black car. Inside sat a known pastor named Chris and his driver. Pastor Chris looked outside the window casually. Then suddenly, he recognized the young woman walking angrily on the road. He had seen her before, not in a club, but in his church. Months earlier, Linda had once visited the church with one of his female members. Immediately, Pastor Chris spoke. "Driver, stop the car." The car pulled over, and the pastor stepped out. Pastor Chris approached Linda calmly. "Linda," he said gently, "why are you so angry this morning?" Linda turned and saw him. At first, she spoke harshly. Her emotions were still boiling. But after a moment, she explained everything. The nightclub, the agreement, the 70,000 naira, and the man who refused to pay. Pastor Chris listened quietly. Then he said something unexpected. "I will give you the 70,000 naira you lost." Linda looked at him in surprise, but before she could speak, the pastor added something that completely shocked her. "I will also give you another 100,000 naira if you spend time with me." Linda's eyes widened. "Pastor, you?" she asked. "A man of God?" Pastor Chris sighed and said something strange. "Being a pastor does not mean I am not human." Then Linda smiled slowly and agreed. The pastor walked back to his car. He asked his driver to give him the money inside the center console. He returned to Linda and handed her 70,000 naira, then another 100,000. Linda couldn't hide her excitement. Moments earlier, she was angry and broke. Now she had more money than she expected. The pastor held her hand gently. They entered the car. As the driver began moving, they chatted casually, laughing, talking, until finally they arrived somewhere unexpected. Not a hotel, not the pastor's house, but his office. Inside the building, Pastor Chris told his secretary something important. "Tell anyone looking for me that I am closed for the day." Then he led Linda straight into his office. Linda looked confused. "Pastor, shouldn't we go to a hotel? Why bring me to your office?" The pastor calmly asked her to sit down. She did. Then he sat across from her. Instead of touching her, he asked her a question. "Linda, do you remember the last time you came to my church?" She nodded. "You came for counseling. Why didn't you wait for me after the service?" Linda explained that he took too long, so she left. The pastor looked at her quietly. Then, suddenly, he began praying, speaking in tongues. Linda froze. This was not what she expected. When the pastor stopped praying, he looked directly into Linda's eyes. Then he said something that made her heart stop. "Linda, there was a night you went to a house party with your friend Lola." Her body stiffened. That party was at Lola's boyfriend's house, Kunle. Linda stared in shock. The pastor continued, "That night you drank too much, and while you were unconscious, Lola and Kunle cut some of your hair." Linda's eyes filled with fear, because it was true. When she woke up that morning, she noticed part of her hair missing, but nobody explained what happened. The pastor spoke again. "They took your glory spiritually. That is why things have not been working in your life." Tears began to run down Linda's face. Then the pastor said one more thing. "Your mother in the village believes you work in a respectable office, but that is not the truth." Linda broke down crying. Pastor Chris spoke gently to Linda. "Linda, God has not abandoned you, but you must change your life. Leave this lifestyle behind. Return to God." Linda cried deeply. Right there in the office, she confessed her mistakes and decided to give her life to Christ. Then she told the pastor something important. She had a skill, cooking. She had always dreamed of running a catering business. The pastor smiled and helped her start. Months passed. Linda stayed committed to her new life. Her catering business slowly began to grow. Customers increased. Money started coming in, and for the first time in many years, Linda felt peace. The angry young woman walking down the road that morning was gone. Her life had completely changed, and it all started with one unacceptable encounter. Sometimes, the moment we think life is over is actually the moment it begins again. Do you believe one encounter can change someone's destiny? Type your thought in the comments section below. For more powerful real-life stories like this one, follow, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.